A new executive director is taking the reins at Mercado on 5th. Frances Williams has been in the position for about a month now. She's a Moline native and is now back to lead the growing organization. We got a chance to meet her this week and learn about her vision for the future and what you can expect at this year's Friday night markets. Joining us now is the new executive director of Mercado on 5th, Frances Williams. Frances, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us this week.
Oh, thank you, John. I really appreciate it.
I was going to say welcome to the Quad Cities, but it's really a welcome back to the Quad Cities because this is where you grew up. Give me a sense of your roots and your background in this community and what you have been doing for a number of years now.
Yeah, this is my hometown. I grew up in Moline. Um, you know, Went to college, then moved out to Denver, spent 24 years out there, worked in financial services the last 3.5 years prior to moving back. Had it served in one of the oldest and largest Latino serving organizations in the state of Colorado, called Mi Casa Resource Center. And I was the director of the Women's Business Center for the SBA out of that organization. But I grew up right here in Moline. Went to Seton Catholic School, went to Alleman High School. So this is my home.
I imagine it feels good to be back.
It feels so good to be back. It really does. I get to be closer to my family. It's little things that you miss out on, right? Like being able to be close together so that you can celebrate birthdays and that sort of thing. And now I get to be back with my family reunited in that way again. So it feels good. But man, has the Quad Cities grown.
I want to talk about Mercado on 5th. Initially you kind of experience it from the outside. It's we were talking earlier how it was something that was new to you, right? Because it's not it's a relatively a new organization in the sense that it hasn't been around for decades and decades. What did you see from the outside, and how did you kind of view the organization?
Growing up here in the Quad Cities, I mean, my mother is Colombian, so I'm of Colombian descent, and I was very lucky that I grew up in a household where my parents honored both of our cultures. And I grew up not having something like Mercado to look at. So when I first started noticing it, was coming back, to visit my folks and seeing that there were these Friday night events, that this was an organization. I really knew it from the perspective of driving past the building. Um, but this past October, my father passed away, and I made the decision to come back. I didn't want to leave my mom by myself, but I knew that, I'm a three-time entrepreneur, and I really wanted to continue to be of service, particularly to our Latino community. We have a rich history of Latinos here in the Quad Cities. My mom used to work; she was one of the first Head Start teachers at Project Now, and so I feel like I'm kind of walking in those footsteps. But I knew for myself personally, I wanted to continue to be of service to the Latino community, in particular the entrepreneurial community. So when I first came back, I just started trying to understand what are the resources available for our minority small businesses here in the Quad Cities. We have incredible partners like the SBDC and SCORE mentors that help support, but Mercado is really the place where what was so exciting to see once I started to learn more about it is the incubator part, of being able to have a safe space that where people can feel accepted for who they are and where they are in their journey, and still have a place where they can learn and make mistakes and do it in a safe place where they're also going to be supported in understanding and testing what's customer service, what is branding and marketing yourself, what are the things that are going to make you different as a business owner in our community. So Mercado has that place for people to be able to do that and to test it out, week after week in the summers on a Friday night, and what we hope is that they'll move on to grow into our community, to then go from like maybe a little food stand into a food truck, and then from that food truck into a brick and mortar right here in our own downtown areas.
When you come into a position like this, I imagine you have to sort of come in with a little bit of a vision and setting some goals for yourself and for the organization. Can you talk a little bit about what you're thinking about right now?
Well, right now I'm in learning mode. It's only the first, really 30 days, not even through the 60 days. So I'm really in trying to understand what are the needs within the community, who are the stakeholders, understanding what our vendors need. I mean, just like we're being impacted by high grocery prices in our own personal pocketbooks and homes, our small business owners are impacted there too. So what are their needs? How can we help them maybe, put something together that would be a collective bargaining opportunity. What are the needs within the community for our sponsors, right? And learning from them, how are they using this as a community engagement opportunity? But I think that what I have learned very quickly is that the reach of Mercado is incredible. We're really seeing people from our Latino community coming in from all parts of Western Illinois and Eastern Iowa. So for us to be a nonprofit organization in the position that we're in, to be able to support them both and in dual language, I really want to help Mercado continue to be that place where we educate and we give and show these entrepreneurs the things that they can do, not make the decisions for them, but certainly show them the things that are available in our community so that they can continue to grow and continue to thrive.
When you look back on your first year or your first 5 years, how will you look back and determine whether you have been successful?
Oh gosh, the number of new businesses that have been started through Mercado, for sure. We want to continue to see that grow. Want to continue to see us be a I don't know if I necessarily see us as an advocacy organization, but certainly an area where people can learn about what's happening in minority small business in the Quad Cities and throughout Western Illinois and Eastern Iowa, to be kind of that resource for the community to understand, like, here are the needs, here's the trends that we're seeing. For me to see success is to see those businesses that have come through Mercado graduate and choose for themselves, again, what is that business cycle that they want to continue to grow in and continue to build in. So when we start to see folks that are seeing multi-generational wealth changes, where they can now send their children to college, where they can now continue to maybe open another second or third location, those are going to be my markers of success, and including additional jobs growing in our community. We are in a very honored position to now have more vendors applying to be part of Mercado than there are spaces for them. And so we decided this year to put together a decision matrix we shared with the vendors in advance, and more than happy to help continue. We want to see more, again, being that place that's an incubator. So I think between the supports for what it's like for a small business owner, somebody who's considering starting a new business, and how they can choose Mercado to be that place of trust and resource for them, as well as the upcoming season.
So it will feel a little bit different then?
It will. I mean, and it's going to have some incredible music acts. I mean, I love the fact that we have a place where we celebrate our Latino culture, and in doing it through music and through art. The summer market is really going to be continue to feel like that, authentic Latin marketplace, and its sponsors, like, for example, our opening night, our sponsor is John Deere. They're going to be out in full force at Mercado that first Friday, and they really are an incredible partner in community. So to see them celebrated alongside, our Latino-owned businesses and our Latino culture is really beautiful.
All right, Francis, it was lovely getting a chance to talk with you. I know this is just an introduction, and we're going to probably interact many times in the future, especially as all the kind of spring and summer events of Mercado on Fifth get going, which I know we're all excited about. But thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, thank you, John. And I hope we get to see you at opening night. It'll be Friday, May 24th. So it'll be that first Friday before Memorial Day.
It's going to be here before you know it. Thanks, Francis.
So true.